Hey everyone, we're less than a year away from leaving our normal lives for full-time travel, and we couldn't be more excited.
Over the past year, we've been doing a ton of research, watching countless YouTube videos, reading blog posts, and talking to people who've already made the leap because we want this transition to be as smooth as possible.
And now we're taking everything we've learned and putting it into action.
In this video, we're sharing exactly what we're doing right now to get ready for life on the road.
Whether you're planning your own big adventure or just dreaming about it for the future, this will give you a realistic look at what goes into preparing for full-time travel.
And to make it even easier, we've created a free printable checklist with all the major to-dos that you'll want to tackle in the year leading up to departure.
Let's dive in. Welcome to World Wanderers.
We're Alicia and Will.
Come wander the world with us. To keep things organized and a little less overwhelming, we've divided our to-do list into 10 main categories.
It's helped us stay focused and tackle one thing at a time instead of trying to do everything at once.
We'll walk you through each of those categories in this video and the timeline when you should start thinking about them.
And if you want a copy of our full checklist, we've linked the free printable version in the description that you can download directly to Google Drive.
All right, let's kick things off with the first and arguably most important category, documents.
Yes. First, make sure your passport is up to date and won't expire while you're abroad because you will need it and you'll need it with you.
Lots of countries require 6 months validity left on your passport in order to enter a country, so you may need to renew it sooner than you think you do.
Also, being stuck somewhere after sending in your current passport while you're waiting for a renewal to process and get mailed to you is less than ideal.
Next, check your ID or driver's license.
Yeah, you'll need a real ID here in the US for domestic flights, which is a good backup to your passport.
And rental car agencies will also ask to see your driver's license.
Speaking of which, if you're planning to drive internationally, apply for an international driver's license.
It's recognized in many countries and can help avoid complications with local law enforcement or rental agencies, especially if your home country doesn't use a Latin alphabet.
Set up a power of attorney and medical proxy so someone you trust can make legal or medical decisions for you if you're unavailable or incapacitated.
It's one of those things you hope you never need, but will be glad if you have if something unexpected happens. We've used LegalZoom in the past, which is an affordable online service that can guide you through the forms and requirements specific to your state.
Yeah, and in that same train of thought, review and update your will, especially if your lifestyle or assets are changing.
Make sure it's stored somewhere safe and let someone know how to access it in case of an emergency.
Start transitioning all your banking, billing, and official communications to paperless statements and online access.
This ensures you won't miss anything important while you're on the move and can manage everything from anywhere in the world.
Next up is residency. And this is a big one for long-term travelers, especially if you're leaving the US for an extended period of time.
Start by figuring out your home of record or permanent address.
Even if you're not physically living there most of the time, you'll need a legal address for taxes, voting, insurance, and more. So choose a state that makes sense for your situation.
Be sure to understand your state income tax obligations as well.
Some states require you to pay taxes even if you're not living there, while others have no state income tax at all.
Looking at you, Florida, my favorite of the 5 states we've ever lived in.
If you're changing your state residency, it's important to do it officially and correctly to avoid future headaches, and this process can take some time.
Lastly, decide what you're going to do about your mail.
You can use a mail forwarding service like Traveling Mailbox or My RV Mail to scan and forward important documents to you while you're abroad.
This way, you don't miss anything critical, even when you're thousands of miles away.
Before you hit the road, it's crucial to take care of your medical needs while you still have access to your regular doctors and health insurance.
Start with a routine exam with your primary care doctor, dentist, eye doctor, and any specialist you regularly see.
Yeah, this can help to catch any issues before you leave.
If you've been putting off any appointments or procedures, now's the time to get them taken care of while you're still covered under your current insurance.
Be sure to download your medical records in digital form and keep them stored safely in the cloud.
Having access to your medical history can be incredibly helpful if you need care abroad. I've definitely gone to the ER in the past and they've asked me questions that I didn't have the answer to or couldn't remember, and it's helpful to have a copy on your phone.
And don't forget to check if you're up to date on all of your recommended immunizations and research any vaccines that are required or recommended for the places you'll be visiting.
If you take any long-term prescriptions, work with your doctor to get extended refills or research the availability of your medications or generic alternatives worldwide. We've definitely seen a bunch of videos where people have found their medications are way cheaper in the countries they're going to. So just being armed with that knowledge will be very helpful.
And finally, make sure you have a solid travel health insurance plan that covers you internationally at the very least for emergencies.
Right? Medical costs can add up fast, and good insurance gives you peace of mind no matter where you are.
Another thing you can start doing now is setting up key travel accounts and getting familiar with the platforms that you'll be using on the road.
Start by creating and using accounts that require ratings, like Uber.
The earlier you begin using them, the more time you have to build up a positive reputation, which can be helpful in other countries.
If you haven't already, download rideshare apps like Lyft or local equivalents in the countries you plan to visit, and make sure your payment methods are set up and tested.
Do the same with hotel booking platforms and especially Airbnb, since many hosts prefer guests with established profiles and good reviews.
You should also sign up for reward programs with airlines, hotel chains, and booking platforms.
These memberships are free and can earn you perks, upgrades, and sometimes even free night stays and flights over time.
And finally, join Facebook travel communities or other online forums for digital nomads and travelers.
Yeah, they're a great place to ask questions, learn tips, and even meet up with other travelers once you're out and about in the world.
Some of our favorites are Girls Love Travel, Go With Less, Full-Time Travelers and Nomads, and Budget Slow Travel in Retirement.
And if you're looking for other great full-time travel YouTube channels to follow, we made a video about the favorites that we like, and we'll link it here.
Getting your credit and debit cards sorted ahead of time is a huge part of travel prep, especially if you want to save money and make the most of the perks along the way.
Yep, first apply for the travel-friendly credit cards now so you have time to get approved and meet each sign-up bonus that the new cards often offer.
It's also smart to have multiple cards in case one gets lost, stolen, or shut down unexpectedly. Having backups can save you major headaches when cards get shut down for suspected fraud, which is very common when traveling.
We've had it happen to us a few times, even on debit cards.
Right. Even when they say, hey, was this you? And I'm like, yes, it was me. And they'll say, well, just in case, no. So,
and reported where we're going beforehand.
Right. So it's definitely inevitable. It's just a matter of when it happens to you, not if.
Yeah. You should start using the cards to rack up points for flights, hotels, and other travel expenses.
We definitely recommend getting a card that includes airport lounge access, like Priority Pass. It can just make long travel days so much more comfortable and enjoyable.
Yep, take the time to learn how your card benefits work, including travel insurance, rental car coverage, purchase protection, foreign transaction fees. These can really come in handy when you're out abroad.
And if you'd like to dive further into this topic, we've done a whole video on credit card strategies for travel, which I'll link here.
And don't forget about the debit cards. Like, look for a bank that refunds ATM fees worldwide, like Charles Schwab or Navy Federal.
This way you can access cash without paying extra every time, which can really add up.
One of the biggest parts of prepping for full-time travel is downsizing. And it's definitely not something that you want to leave to the last minute.
We started with our home. We decided to sell our condo and move into a smaller apartment that we're renting while we finish up prepping for full-time travel.
The transition gave us time to adjust, test out a simpler lifestyle, and just as importantly, invest the proceeds from the sale.
We've put those funds into stocks, bonds, and CDs, which has allowed us to track our monthly income from dividends and interest, which is a big part of what we're going to be using to support ourselves while we're full-time traveling.
Yeah, it's been really helpful to get a sense of what our cash flow will look like once we're on the road full-time throughout different market conditions.
Right. Next, we sold our second car, and honestly, it took a few months to find a buyer that was willing to pay what we were asking.
So if you're planning to sell, give yourself plenty of time to research prices, list them, and negotiate.
We also went through clothing and donated or sold anything that we didn't love or plan to take with us. I found Poshmark to be a great place to sell all sorts of stuff that I didn't think anyone would want.
Furniture is another big one. So we plan to sell a lot of our large items on Facebook Marketplace and donate or give away whatever doesn't sell.
This process has taken us longer than we expected, so don't underestimate how much time it takes to clear out a space.
And finally, for all the sentimental items like old photos, kids' artwork, handwritten letters, or
even my sheet music.
Yeah, or even souvenirs that you've gathered over time. We took time to digitize everything.
It was a great way to preserve memories without needing to store boxes of physical stuff, and it made it easier to part with the things knowing it's okay, I have a picture of it.
Once we started clearing space, it was time to shift focus to something more exciting, travel gear.
We've been slowly collecting and testing the essentials so we're not scrambling right before takeoff.
Yeah, if you're planning to backpack, definitely do some like full test walks, fully loaded with your backpack to make sure that that fits comfortably, the weight isn't too much to manage long term, and it sits on you appropriately.
Right. Or if you're going with suitcases, as is our plan, make sure that they're durable and easy to maneuver. We've definitely tested a few different ones out, and we know which ones now roll perfectly or can fit the perfect amount of 49.9 pounds in them.
Walking shoes are another key item. Your feet will be doing a lot of work, so break them in now to avoid blisters later.
And don't forget the basics like a good rain jacket, a versatile day pack for everyday exploring, and reliable power adapters that work in the countries you're visiting.
Testing your gear ahead of time helps you figure out what actually works, what's worth upgrading, and what you can leave behind.
Next up is technology, and getting this part dialed in can make your life on the road so much smoother.
Yeah, start by figuring out your phone plan.
We're currently planning to keep our T-Mobile plans since they offer international coverage.
But we're also planning to use AirAllo or other eSIM options for better data speeds and local pricing in different countries.
If you're bringing a travel router, make sure you know how it works before you need it. This was a little bit of a learning curve for us, and I have a background in IT, so.
Yeah. And in conjunction with that, consider setting up a VPN to protect your information and let you set your location.
This is especially important when using public networks and logging into banking or sensitive accounts abroad.
Go through all your subscriptions from streaming to cloud storage and figure out which ones you'll actually use and which will work globally. Then cancel anything you don't need.
We also set up our travel spend app, which is what we use to track our budget and daily expenses.
Yeah, take time to download essential apps like Google Translate, Google Maps. Practice using them offline if you can, and you'll rely on them a little bit more than you think you might.
Finally, set up a digital travel bookmarks folder with quick links to key resources.
And then bookmark things like your insurance provider or the embassy info for where you're going, and any important travel documents.
Having everything in one place makes it easy to access when you need it the most.
Another big piece of the puzzle is work, both wrapping up your current job and figuring out what your income will look like once you're on the road.
If you're currently employed, think about when and how you'll inform your company.
Giving them advance notice shows professionalism and can help preserve the relationship, especially if you need a reference later or maybe you'll want to come back at some point or need to come back at some point.
You may also need to train your replacement, which is a great way to leave on a positive note.
Looking ahead, consider whether you want to take on part-time or remote contract work while you're traveling.
If so, start maintaining professional contacts, updating your resume, and lining up opportunities early so that you're not scrambling after you leave.
And we're also exploring side hustles like this, building our YouTube channel.
Speaking of which, we'd love you to give this video a like, and if you're finding this content valuable, consider subscribing. We appreciate you being here.
And if you're going the YouTube route, now's the time to start creating content, building your audience, and learning the ropes of how YouTube works.
Right. It took us over a year to start earning any income whatsoever on YouTube. So if you're interested in learning about that experience, we'll link our journey to monetization video here.
And finally, let's talk about booking travel, because once the prep work is done, this is where the fun really begins.
Start by booking your first leg of your journey, whether it's a flight, a cruise, or a long-term stay.
Having that first destination locked in makes everything feel more real and gives you a very solid launch point.
If you're using points or miles for flights, try to book about 5 to 6 months out for the best availability.
For award hotel stays, especially in popular destinations, you may need to book 9 to 12 months in advance to help you lock in the best rooms before they're gone.
And if you're planning a cruise, aim for 6 to 12 months in advance for the lowest prices and best cabin options. Those deals tend to disappear fast.
Yeah. And if you're looking to stay somewhere for a month or longer, book early as well.
In popular cities or during high seasons, those listings can fill up early. So booking ahead is key to getting your top choices.
And while there are occasionally last-minute deals available, in general, cash prices tend to rise the closer you get to the trip, unless you're super flexible and willing to gamble a bit.
Preparing for full-time travel takes time, planning, and a lot of moving parts. But breaking it down into manageable steps like these has made the process feel way more doable.
Yeah, we hope this gave you a clear idea of what to expect and how to start preparing if you're dreaming of a full-time travel lifestyle.
And don't forget to grab your free printable checklist from the link in the description.
Yeah, if we've forgotten anything or you've taken other steps, leave a comment and let us help each other out, because we can always learn too.
Right. And if you found this useful, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow along as we get closer to launch day. Safe travels.